Draft grades are supposed to tell us everything, but every single year they lie. Teams crowned winners collapse while losers build contenders overnight. But the 2026 NFL Draft feels different. This time, the risks were louder, the decisions bolder, and a few picks might have quietly changed everything. But one move already has people questioning everything. Everyone loves draft grades until they're completely wrong. Every year, analysts crown genius classes that fall apart by October, while the so-called bad drafts quietly build playoff teams. But in 2026, something felt off from the very beginning. Teams weren't just missing, they were reaching, and not by a little, by entire rounds. The Jacksonville Jaguars shocked everyone by repeatedly taking players far earlier than expected, sticking to their board no matter what the rest of the league thought. Confidence? Maybe. But it also raised a bigger question: did they outsmart everyone or outsmart themselves? And they weren't alone. The San Francisco 49ers, a team known for smart roster building, passed on major needs to take players analysts say they could have landed much later. It wasn't just surprising, it was risky. Because in the NFL draft, reaching doesn't just cost value, it can change the entire direction of a franchise. And when multiple teams start doing it at once, it stops being a mistake and starts looking like a trend. But one of these reaches might already be turning into something nobody expected. Nobody talking about the teams that might have actually won this draft, and that's exactly why you should be paying attention. While the headlines focused on reaches and controversies, a few franchises quietly built something dangerous under the radar. Take the Baltimore Ravens. No flashy moves, no viral moments, just smart, calculated additions. They reinforced the pass rush, upgraded their receiving core, and once again look like a team built for deep playoff runs. It's the kind of draft that doesn't trend but wins games. Then there's the Philadelphia Eagles, who didn't just draft well, they stayed aggressive, adding key weapons while making moves that hint at a possible future without A.J. Brown. Risky? Sure, but also incredibly forward-thinking. And somehow, the New York Jets might have pulled off one of their most competent drafts in years. Smart picks, a clear plan, and even a quarterback who actually wanted to be there. These aren't the teams dominating headlines, but they might be shaping the season. And if this trend continues, the balance of power in the NFL might already be shifting. The biggest stories from this draft didn't just happen on the field, they followed players into it. Because for some teams, talent wasn't the only thing being evaluated, risk was part of the equation. The Atlanta Falcons found themselves right in the middle of that conversation. One of their key additions came with off-field concerns that sparked debate across the league. Reports suggest teams were split. Some saw elite upside, others saw a potential distraction waiting to happen. And this isn't new. Every year, franchises convince themselves they can manage situations others avoided. Sometimes it works, sometimes it unravels everything. The line between a steal and a mistake is thinner than ever. What makes this year different is how often teams leaned into that risk. Instead of playing it safe, multiple franchises bet on players with complicated narratives, trusting their locker rooms, their culture, and their systems to handle it. Because in today's NFL, it's not just about building a roster, it's about managing personalities, pressure, and perception all at once. And if even one of these situations spirals, it could change an entire season overnight. While everyone obsesses over quarterbacks and flashy offensive picks, this draft quietly revealed something bigger: defense might be taking over again. And a few teams didn't just improve, they might have built units that completely change how games are played. The Houston Texans are the clearest example. Already loaded with talent, they doubled down in the trenches, adding more power to a defensive front that was already dangerous. Pair that with Will Anderson Jr., and suddenly this isn't just a good defense, it's one that could dominate entire games on its own. And they're not alone. The Buffalo Bills quietly stacked depth across multiple defensive positions, focusing less on headlines and more on consistency. It's the kind of approach that doesn't go viral but shows up in January when it matters most. Across the league, the pattern is clear: teams are investing in pressure, speed, and physicality instead of just trying to outscore opponents. Because when defenses hit this level, they don't just stop offenses, they break them. And if these units live up to the hype, some of the league's best quarterbacks might be in serious trouble. Nobody expected the quarterback story to unfold like this, and that's exactly what made it so chaotic. For the first time in years, the NFL draft didn't revolve around quarterbacks, it ignored them. No QBs taken in the second round, multiple prospects sliding, and a few decisions that left fans seriously confused. The Pittsburgh Steelers took a massive swing on a boom-or-bust quarterback, betting on upside instead of certainty. It's the kind of move that can define a franchise or set it back years. Meanwhile, the Arizona Cardinals made a surprising QB selection that instantly divided opinions. Some believe it's a smart long-term play, others think it's a reach that solves nothing right now. And then there's the most shocking storyline of all, Diego Pavia going completely undrafted. A player with major production completely overlooked. Some fans believe the league misjudged him entirely, while others think teams saw something deeper. This wasn't just unusual, it felt like a shift. Like teams don't value quarterbacks the same way anymore, or maybe they just didn't trust this class. But if even one of these overlooked QBs proves everyone wrong, this draft could age very differently. Everyone wants to declare a winner the moment the draft ends, and this year that title keeps landing on the Cleveland Browns. On paper, it makes perfect sense. They added elite talent at key positions, stacked depth across the roster, and walked away with what many analysts are calling the most complete class in the league. From high-upside playmakers to disciplined, culture-fit prospects, everything about this group screams long-term success. It's the kind of haul that instantly raises expectations, not just for improvement, but for real contention. And when a team checks every box like this, it's easy to believe they've changed their future overnight. But here's the problem, we've seen this story before. Great draft grades don't guarantee great results. Development matters, coaching matters, fit matters, and sometimes even the most perfect class never fully comes together. The pressure now shifts from the front office to the field, and that's where things get unpredictable. Because being labeled the best draft class isn't an advantage, it's a target. And if even a few of these picks don't hit, this perfect draft could unravel faster than anyone expects. The truth about the 2026 NFL draft isn't who won, it's how different this year actually was. Teams didn't follow the usual script. They reached earlier, gambled more, and in some cases ignored positions that used to define entire drafts, especially quarterback. Across the league, you can see a shift happening. Some franchises are clearly prioritizing defense and physicality again. Others are betting on culture, upside, and long-term development instead of immediate impact. And a few are taking risks that could either redefine their future or completely derail it. What makes this draft so fascinating is how uncertain it feels. There's no clear consensus, no obvious safe picks, just a collection of bold decisions that won't be understood for years. Because in reality, draft grades mean nothing right now. The teams being praised today could struggle tomorrow, and the ones getting criticized might be building something special behind the scenes. This isn't a draft you judge in April, it's one that will be remembered in hindsight. And when we look back at this class a few years from now, the real winners might be the ones nobody saw coming.